What, are the Warriors relocating to the East so they get an easier playoff run?
They're going.
No, well, I mean, they're going to have to go up either against the Miami Heat or the Cleveland Cavaliers, which we're going to jump into.
They could take on them easily.
They're the only two teams in the Eastern Conference Finals that has a shot at the finals. I think the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, the Cavs are getting a little bit of trouble here from the Pistons, but I mean, I think the Heat have just been blowing by the Hornets, and I think this is really showing the people that are arguing that the Heat are truly just a playoff team and they're built for the playoffs.
Well, and it makes me look like a goddamn genius because on our playoff preview podcast, the video podcast, I said that the Heat were going to be the team to play the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I picked them to upset the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And you also picked the Portland Trailblazers. So that's paying off right there, too.
Whatever.
But this Heat team...
I thought that would be a closer series.
Define your trash can picks later. But this Heat team, without Chris Bosh, absolutely surprising everyone.
They're shooting their minds out. Imagine
if this team had Chris Bosh. Imagine if they had Chris Bosh on this team.
Luol Deng is just reemerged.
Love it.
It's bizarre.
It's like watching Chicago Bulls Luol Deng.
Like he took off like 20 years off his knees. The Tom Thibodeau put on in like 4.
I mean, he's like you hit it on the head. I mean, he's playing fantastic. D Wade in Game 2 was fantastic. Whiteside's just murdering Al Jefferson.
The boards are just lopsided.
It is unreal what they're doing. And Joe Johnson, I mean, he hasn't been doing fantastic, but he's doing well. I mean, 9 points a game right now as we're recording. I mean, isn't something special, but I mean, you never know when Joe Johnson could hit it, and Joe Johnson could turn on that switch.
A decent percentage out of it. You're getting a veteran out there who can make shots when you need to, and that's exactly what this team needs. They have the youth with Whiteside, and they have so much experience between Deng and Wade. I think it's an interesting team.
Don't forget Dragic either. He's got experience.
Amari Stoudemire
super experienced.
Yeah, Amari
off the bench.
Yeah, Amari's showing his age a little.
Udonis Haslem was playing 50 seconds.
He almost got a full minute in.
He's got experience.
You know what I want to say about Amari that I found so weird after watching Game 1?
What's
that?
So
he wears the glasses, right?
Yes.
But when he shoots free throws, he picks them up and puts them on his head.
Yeah.
And he puts them on his head for the free throws and then puts them back down. It threw me off for a second because I'm like, why does he take the glasses off for free throws?
I really like the Hornets, getting away from the Amari side free throw thing.
I wanted it to be a great series, but no, the Heat look like they are just spanking. I don't know if it's because of the Hornets, but they are just going to town.
I think it's mainly because Whiteside and they don't have an answer to Whiteside. And then
D Wade 22 points, 7.5 assists a game.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying. I think the main reason is
Heat are turning back the clock.
Did you expect the Heat to throw up that kind of numbers from D Wade, who's old?
Not at all. But I think the reason why he's doing it is because the Whiteside's taking off pressure that they have to cover a little more, and then Wade has more room to run around. But I mean, I look at the Raptors or the Pacers, who they might take off in the next season, because that one's a close series. I don't see the Pacers being able to cover Whiteside down low, and Valanciunas is decent, but I mean, I think that Whiteside can really bully these guys up, and that's going to free him up. And even Joe Johnson coming off the bench can really light up the Raptors. I mean, this Heat team is looking really scary, and I think it's most likely that we're going to see the Cavs. And if I'm going to put my money on it, I think the Heat have a better shot at going to the Eastern Conference Finals than the Cavs.
Wow!
Wait, to just the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
You're just saying they're steamrolling two teams.
But if we look at the Hawks here, because I think the Hawks are most likely going to end up going to the next round.
Yes.
Just because Bradley going out is huge here. Who's going to cover Al Horford? Who's going to cover Paul Millsap? Kyle Korver has had kind of a reemergence here. Jeff Teague's a fantastic point guard. Dennis Schroeder's a fantastic point guard. I mean, the Hawks were dangerous last year, so you never know what can happen. And the Cavs right now are looking weak against the Pistons, or the Pistons are just looking fantastic here. I just think that the Hawks will give Cleveland more trouble than
the Heat will experience going through the Pacers.
Yeah, going against the Pacers or the
Hornets
Raptors.
team totally no-showed the series, so...
Let's be honest, though. The Cavs, to me, I feel like we are on a collision course to Heat Cavs, Eastern Conference Finals, and another thing that I think is going to help the Heat kind of have that ability to get over the Cavs is that little bit of just... Let's stick it to LeBron.
That's definitely huge. I don't think it's a little. I think that's huge.
I know you can say, yeah, but he left he left to come to you, and he left Cleveland. Yeah, but it's still Miami fans. I mean, watch Highly Questionable every day and tell me Poppy is still not mad at LeBron.
I think the thing is, it's like LeBron kind of takes it as, hey, My run is done.
I went to college.
There's no more championships to win here. And Wade's like, what? Wait, what?
What?
I'm not done. Are you done?
You meant no more championships because you're going to the Factory of Sadness? That's what you meant.
I think he has something to prove here. I think Dwayne Wade on
I'm not
no
done.
knees, Luol Deng on no knees, are going to go out there and lead this team to another Eastern Conference Finals. And that matchup will be fantastic if they can maintain this level of crazy shooting.
The way you can see it, and the last thing I'll say so Sean can get in is the first time when LeBron left Cleveland, he was giving up on a city. When he left Miami to go back to Cleveland, he was giving up on two friends. That's how I see it.
See, but also, I mean, looking at just the matchup, if it is Heat Cavs, I mean, because I think that's more the main important thing. If Deng can continue this rejuvenation, we've seen Deng cover LeBron, and that's really just the main thing here.
He was the original LeBron stopper.
He was, and I think
the original Kurt Heinrich.
Yeah, if Deng can
Pre-tackle.
if Deng could really go up against LeBron James and cover him, I think the Heat might be able to go to the finals here. Now, going up against a Western Conference Finals team, then I think a Western Conference team, I think that's a different story there. I think any Western Conference team can smoke an Eastern Conference team
in a series. Yeah,
but
probably going to be ugly.
But I look at this Heat team, and they're playing their minds out, and it's fantastic. And Eric Spoelstra, I mean, we gave him a ton of crap because early on
he looks like one of the best coaches in the NBA.
He's the second most veteran coach in the NBA too.
Yeah, I
It's
think
popping than him.
After what he's been able to do with this Heat team, especially without LeBron, I mean,
Training wheels are off. He just absolutely ran with
Loved
it.
it.
Pat
Yeah.
Riley,
I
I
love
think, was just a fantastic mentor for a young guy coming in. And he has taken this team and made it his own and gotten performance out of guys who you think are washed up and done.
and the one thing I
agree.
do want to mention is when it comes to the Heat, let's say they do get to the NBA Finals
Whoa.
against a team like the Warriors with Steph Curry. To quote
It's a
Patrick,
murder.
to quote Patrick Kane here in Chicago, not a chance they win that series. But if they go up against the Spurs, that could be a good series.
Really?
Not saying they win it, but it could be a go down to 7.
I think the only
ball of a
way
series.
the only way the Heat win a championship is
they
if the
play
Thunder
offensively.
somehow win out and it's Thunder Heat.
So
but I don't want to go up
They could
against.
even have a chance. Not a chance of demolishing. I'm saying just a chance of competing and making it a hard series against the Spurs.
They
No.
take 2 games at most. I don't think it goes to 7. It goes to 6 at most.
Tops.
See, the thing with the Thunder though, that's dangerous. If you have a KD who beat the Spurs and the Warriors, that's confident KD. That's confident Russ. I mean, that's a beast that you might not be able to stop here. See,
But you have the boards. You have total control because
True.
Serge Ibaka, as we've talked about, has been sliding down. He's been
But
underperforming.
what about the stash? What about the
Oh my
stash
God,
there in
the
OKC?
stash is fantastic, but no, he's not going to do it. Whiteside would absolutely rip apart Panther every time they put him in the game. That would be a matchup that I think they could take him. But you're right. It would be dangerous, but it would be fun. But I think the top 2 teams are still Spurs and Warriors, and outside of that, you don't got a fucking shot.
No, I just see that any Eastern Conference team might be able to whoop them. I mean, even you look at if the Clippers somehow make it to the finals.
Interesting.
Look, all right, DeAndre Jordan can cover Whiteside.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin can cover
No,
Whiteside.
I'm shaking.
Who's going to cover
I'm
Whiteside?
shaking my head. Do you really think the Clippers are going to the NBA
no, I'm
Finals?
just saying.
Clippers are an interesting
saying-
team.
I'm
Some would
saying-
say a dark horse.
The top. Check out our Clippers dark horse video.
We asked that question, Dave.
But anyways, I'm just
You would know if you've been here.
Some
often.
would say.
You look at the Clippers. I think they match up well with the Heat stylistically, and the Clippers aren't a bad team. You can't say the Clippers are a bad team.
No,
I think the Clippers.
I just don't see them like maybe they can get past a Curryless Warriors. And notice how I said a Curryless Warriors.
Did you say a Curryless Warriors?
I didn't hear that.
I don't see them getting past a Spurs team to get to the finals. I just don't see the Clippers getting to the NBA Finals. It's either going to be the Warriors or the Spurs, and then the Eastern Conference. The way it's looking right now as we're recording this, the Raptors may be down by 3, or it may be tied 2-2 with the Pacers coming back in that series. So if the Pacers play the Heat get an easy pass to me to the Eastern Conference Finals. They play a Cavs team. They play up for the Cavs. And then Heat, and then whoever you want, Warriors or Spurs.
Let's go to that Western Conference side because I think we're in agreement that the Heat are looking fantastic and the Heat can truly make a chance at the NBA Finals here. Are the Warriors screwed if Steph isn't 100%?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
The way I described it in a tweet is with Steph Curry on that team, this Warriors team is just like the 95-96 Bulls. Without Steph Curry, they are now becoming the 93-94 Bulls, where you may get to the conference finals, but you ain't getting anywhere near the actual finals.
Yeah, I mean the rest will guarantee they get to the finals.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, the one thing is you're a good enough team to get to the Western Conference Finals, but can you beat a Spurs team without Curry?
Draymond can get as many flagrants as he wants after the game's over. After the game's over, because it doesn't matter. But
James Harden can also draw contact, and the shot shouldn't have counted, but they counted.
James Harden is a genius at drawing contact, and he draws contact when there's no one within 8 feet of him.
Do you know what
it is impressive.
The Thunder.
Yeah.
Interesting
He
thought.
would have fit well.
Interesting thought.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that the Warriors, I think you hit it on the head. I think the Warriors parallel the 95-96 Bulls perfectly because, when Jordan left, this was still a good team, but they weren't a great team.
The Bulls still got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They just couldn't get over that hump without Jordan.
Meanwhile,
that's the thing. If it's a Curryless Clippers there, if it's a Curryless Warriors and they're going up against the Clippers, I think the Clippers whoop them. I think the Clippers are a fantastic team here because
they're hot too.
Whoop them.
Who's covering Chris Paul if Curry's out? No one. No one's covering Chris Paul. No one's going to be able to stop DeAndre Jordan down low, and no one's going to be able to stop Blake Griffin. There's no one there. I mean, Draymond's fantastic.
You're going to put Draymond on one of the two. That's a problem.
Yeah, and
he can't cover both. So.
And maybe Blake is able to Blake can bully him down low because, I mean, Blake is still bigger. I know Draymond's still fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Draymond's one of the best defenders in the league. But I'm just saying, maybe Blake is able to show that potential of being a number one pick and really just be able to bully Draymond Green down low because we saw the Spurs were able to do that, and that's how they beat him 87-77 prior to there is that they bullied him inside, and maybe they'll be able to do that there.
I just want a quick fact check of myself. It wasn't the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost to the Knicks in the semifinals, which were that Bulls team. So
still a good
wouldn't
Knicks
even
team.
get to the finals.
Yeah, still a good Knicks team.
And then Knicks went and beat Reggie Miller in the conference finals.
I think the Clippers have a chance even if the Warriors have Curry. I think it goes to 7 in my mind because I just think that Chris Paul is one of the only people who can keep Curry to maybe under 25 points, which is probably like, holy shit, that's not that impressive.
He can score right with them.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. He's averaging 26 a game.
He's not going to let his team get behind purely off Curry going on a hot streak because he'll take the shots. He doesn't have a problem doing that. He can take over games still.
And you have veteran leadership off the bench for the Clippers. I know Paul Pierce hasn't been the same Paul Pierce, but I mean, Jeff Green has still had playoff experience. You have Luke Mamba Mute who has playoff experience. You have guys on the bench for the Clippers who have playoff experience. I'm just saying that I'm not saying the Warriors are going to lose, and I'm not saying the Warriors aren't going to win the finals.
Sounds like it.
I'm just saying that the Clippers might have a chance. They might have a chance if Curry isn't able to go 100%. If he's shooting 95, if he's at 95%, then the Clippers might be able to attack.
And that's the thing. If the Warriors are smart, we've heard so many. If you turn on sports television right now, everybody and their grandmother is giving opinions on what you should do with Steph Curry.
Do you play him? Do you not?
Well, and here's the two that I've heard on. One, this is what you need to do. However, the second one I'm going to say, I can't be 100% against it because he's a smart guy, but I believe in the fact that you just shut him down for the series as of right now. Not like a complete shutdown, but as of right now, you're not playing because I don't think this Rockets team brings it to 7. They don't even make it competitive. They got their one game. They played for pride. They didn't get shut out by the Warriors. Woohoo, that's a victory. That's the one side.
Are you afraid of them pulling any momentum?
No, I'm not. They wanted to play to not get to sweep. They were playing at home, first game at home. It's not going to be a problem for the Warriors. They'll win it in 5. Here's the other thing.
You think they're going to win it in 5?
Yeah. The Warriors
without Curry?
Yeah, they'll win game 4 and then win game 5 in the Oracle. They just wanted to win the series in the Oracle, man. Here's the other side of it, and the other one that was coming out is some have said shut him down for the series. This one actually came from, I believe, Woody Page on Around the Horn. He said, let Curry decide. If Curry says he's good to go, let him play no matter what series it is. I can see that because I don't think Curry's that dumb to say, you know what, let's go. However, I would hope Curry has that same kind of fight that I think of with Michael Jordan, the great story where I'm going to play and, they're like, no, you're not. What if you had like a pill and I gave you 10 and one of them can kill you and all you got is a headache. And Jordan goes, well, how bad's the headache? And he played that game. I don't think Curry's going to push it that far, but Curry's going to know his own body and say, okay, I can do this. I can play tonight. That's one side of it.
See, I think that if this series goes tied, which I can see it being possible if Curry doesn't play game 4, I think you put Curry in no matter what if the series goes tied, because obviously
you need to.
You've seen that Curry is the biggest difference maker, and it's weird to say that the best player in the NBA is the biggest difference maker in a series.
He's also the most improved player.
Yeah,
he's everything. He's everything to that team.
If it goes 2-2, that changes the whole dynamic. But as of right now, I'm on the side where the Rockets played for pride. They didn't get swept. Cool. We won the first game for our fans, and we gave them a home win.
The second game wasn't even that big of a blowout when Curry played. I think that the Rockets truly can give the Warriors some hell. I think that if it goes tied, you want to end this early so Curry does have some time to rest up, because if Portland does take the Clippers to 7, then obviously
it's not going anywhere near 7.
I'm just saying, if they do end up taking them to somewhere near 7, you want to get some rest or some ability. You want to just end it quickly. I don't think you want to drag this out and then maybe have Steph.
Best case scenario, you get Steph out there to like 70%, 80% to close out this series. That way he gets some rest. Hopefully he's recouped. I see what you're saying, Sean. And I think the biggest thing to take away, though, is that game without Steph came down to a buzzer beater. That was last possession wins without Steph. So I don't know if they can really not play him. Like, if you're going to come that close, you might as well just put him out there. Even at 70%, Steph Curry is still better than majority of the people in this league. He can play limited minutes, and he'll still give you enough to put you over that little bit you need.
That's my thing. We've watched a lot. I've watched a lot of college football, and there's been times where there's guys never been on the injury report, and they're like the leading rusher, and they're just standing on the sideline with their helmets off or helmets on, just waiting to go in, but they never go in. Maybe you do that with a Steph Curry, and you just put him on the bench in his all gear, and you say he's not playing or not. You just say he's not going to start, and maybe you just wait until people are anticipating Curry to go in, and just kind of use it as a mental thing, because maybe that's what you try to do, just to get in the Rockets' head here, just to kind of psych them out.
The way I think of it, and I know this is a very different situation, but it's kind of in the same as kind of like when the Bulls played the Magic way back when, and Jordan was wearing 45, and then Shaq and Penny came out and said, yeah, it's not 23. He ain't doing nothing against us. Jordan changes to 23 at halftime, blows him out. However, for Curry, wearing 45 would be not playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you try to end this series early just so the Warriors can get Curry some health,
well, that's
just
your
get
best
some
bet.
rest.
I just don't see that game was cool. Let's win one so we don't get swept. The Warriors are still going to get it in 5.
Meanwhile, in typical fashion, we're talking West Coast, we're talking all this playoffs, and the team we're not mentioning is quietly having a fantastic run.
Do you mean
San Antonio Spurs? Maybe?
Do you mean the team with the silent assassin?
Maybe
they're playing the Grizzlies.
Yeah, they're
literally playing The Walking Dead.
They're playing the D-League
the
team.
Grizzlies.
But it doesn't matter, because guess what? They're gonna smoke them. Kawhi looks amazing out there, and this team all around, top to bottom, can perform. They have veterans, they have youth, they've got everybody they need. This team is locked and loaded.
I'm going to say something pretty bold here, and I think this might be kind of crazy. I think Kawhi Leonard might be one of the best players in the NBA, weirdly enough.
What?
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's
the silent assassin. I think that Kawhi, the Spurs, the reason I'm not mentioning him is because I've said, consistently that they're going to the Western Conference Finals. I don't care if Durant's going to play his mind out, or if Russ is going to try to play his mind out. Kawhi's going to be able to shut down Durant, and then obviously I think that LaMarcus can stop anything going to the rim, and I think that the Tony Parker won't be able to stop Russ completely.
Worst case scenario, you
but
put
at least
Boban
slow
in
him
and
down.
just let him take over.
Yeah, I think you'll at least be able to slow Russ down here. I just think that the reason I'm not mentioning the Spurs is because I don't see them running into a roadblock.
No complications on the way.
Yeah, until they go to the Western Conference Finals, and I've said that consistently that the Spurs won't face a challenge until they go to the Western Conference Finals. And
I guess that's the concern with Curry is if you play him now and he risks re-injury, then it's over.
It's a cakewalk.
It's over, and then you wasted one of the greatest seasons of all time in the regular season. Again, regular season, greatest all time. But guess what? No championship. You're gonna walk away without a ring.
Ricky, you seem like you have some thoughts on your mind. Let's wrap this up.
With the whole injury thing, it's kind of like this didn't have anything to do with them pushing for the record. Oh, we should have rested
Right.
Steph Curry.
Right.
It was just happen chance. And yes, in the past, people are saying, well, it could be the foot, it could be the ankle. He's had the foot injury before. Let's be honest. This injury was just happen chance. Has nothing to do with them pushing for the record. If I was in the same shoes, you push for the fucking record because now everyone is going to remember you. Yes, you got to get it done in the playoffs because all that matters is getting that ring. But guys, the Warriors are going to be fine.
I totally agree with you, and I think if it with the ankle, it happened in that OKC game where he hit the game winner from half court. We were live streaming, and people were like, "Steph went down. Steph's done." You know, he rolled his ankle, and you know I think he missed a quarter or something like that.
And he came back in.
I think that was if he hurt it, that's when he hurt it, and then it just didn't hurt him after, and then he finally just tweaked it again, and then that was the thing. I don't think it was an overworking. I think it was just he re-injured an injury, or it was just a happen chance, like you said. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the fast break for today. Thank you, Dave and Ricky, for joining. Thanks, Dave, for showing up, buddy.
Anytime.
It's always good hearing your voice. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you're listening on SoundCloud, hit that little red light button and repost this to all your friends. We love the support. And if you're listening on YouTube, thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and in the links down below, you'll be able to find our Patreon page. Support us if you have the chance. We would really love that. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Schwarbo. You can follow Ricky on Twitter at Ricky Widmer, and you can follow Dave on Twitter at Dave Don't Tweet. You won't find much there. And you'll also be able to find Most Valuable Pod on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod, on Snapchat at Most Valuable Pod, and on Facebook if you search Most Valuable Podcast. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod for more great podcasts.